I used to dream about showing the world what I dream about. Forget a mic, my whole life I thought it'd be the mouth. I guess it's fitting how life threw me the curveball. Pops told me work till you make it, man, then work more. I guess I took that to heart, cause I've been working harder now than I...
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of M.O.M.S Basement, or Mind Over Matter Sports. We appreciate you guys being here, watching, listening, whatever it may be. As always, I'm your host, Joe, and that is...
Corey. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hey, hi.
Awesome job right there, Corey.
Thanks, man.
So
I appreciate you.
As always, make sure you guys are checking out the Crossover Report, crossoverreport.com, and at Crossover Report on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all social media. Make sure you guys check out that content every single day. Also, Corey, you see what I'm wearing today?
A Cubs jersey.
The Cubs jersey. Now, this we've got the World Series champions patch, right arm. We got the gold ring around the Cubs logo here. We got the sparkly gold number and name on the back here. Sick Cubs jerseys, as we will get to baseball later in the show. But first, we've got some other things to talk about today. NFL draft, NBA, what are the Bulls doing and why are they doing it? And why does it hurt my brain? Corey, please take that off your screen. We got the MVP race in the NBA. We got NCAA basketball championship tomorrow, and then we will get to opening day baseball. So let's jump right into the NFL. My eyes just can't recover from that. I won't even say what he was looking at because it's just pure disgusting. So NFL.
They're gonna think I'm looking up like midget porn.
It's not even anything that's like. I'm not even gonna say. It's nothing that you would think, but it's just not a pleasant sight for anybody in the world's eyes to see. NFL, the draft. I know I've been on the show and I've said before that I want them to take a safety or, because it's the most glaring need, but I have seen the light. I've changed my mind. I am now sold on the Bears taking a quarterback at number 3 overall, and that is only if Myles Garrett and Solomon Thomas are both taken 1 and 2, which they probably will be. So I am sold. The Bears should take a quarterback, either Mitch Trubisky or Patrick Mahomes, at 3, because the safety value is just not there. If you take a safety at 3, he's going to become one of the highest paid safeties in the league, if I'm not mistaken, and that's just not good value for you there. When the DB class is so deep, you could load up on that talent later in the draft.
Yeah, so you basically be paying a safety if you take him at number 3, like a top 10 safety in the NFL. Just based on the rookie deal. I mean, Eric Berry's making, $13 million. Tyrann Mathieu's getting paid, and a safety at 3 is not the best monetary value because of the way rookie contracts work. I think he'd be making about $6.5 to $7 million in his first year as a rookie. So that's not not the best use of it, and considering defensive back is pretty deep in this draft, you can grab one at, what did the Bears pick, 35th overall for their second round pick and still get a very productive starter while finding your franchise quarterback at number 3.
Yeah, I think, I know where you stand on quarterback. You want them to take Mahomes at 3? Is that what you're sold on?
Yeah, not only do I want them to take him, he's not my number. He might be, it changes a lot, but I think he definitely has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft, especially the top 4, and that's kind of the player that Ryan Pace has gone for in his first 2 drafts.
We said that in the last show, I believe, where he took the high ceiling, high athleticism guys in the first round.
And Mahomes fits that bill. I mean, he has all the raw tools, just like Kevin White did, just like Leonard Floyd does. And he wants to take guys who, if they hit their ceiling, are superstars. And that's a decent way to draft. Some people draft high floors, some people draft high ceilings. And you can make it work for you both ways, but Pace has proven to be a high ceiling guy, and Mahomes has got the highest ceiling of any of these quarterbacks.
I don't really care which quarterback they take, as long as it's not... between these two, it doesn't really matter to me. But, I think you see that Mahomes is kind of becoming the hot name, and I think the Cleveland Browns are really looking at him at number 12.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be there.
I don't think he makes it to 12. I really don't think he makes it to 12.
Yeah, so if you want him, you have your chance to take him.
Yeah.
We've got, less than a month now.
Yeah, what's the day for it? Is it the 27th is the NFL draft?
I don't even know what day it is.
Let's see.
I believe isn't it the first week in May now?
Oh, is it? Let's see. No, it's going to be held on the 27th, 27th
right.
to the 29th. So, yeah, we have under a month, ladies and
You got
gentlemen.
25 days.
We do.
That's less than 4 weeks.
That's exciting times.
I can do easy math. See that? See how I just did that real quick off the jump there?
I'm proud of you. And, guys, he bought his NFL draft magazines, too, and he's been studying up.
I'm studying up for hopefully a show here in the next couple weeks where we only talk about the NFL draft. We're going to break down the Bears, all the Bears picks, or what we think they should do there.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that'll
excited.
be fun. Hopefully Corey is ready to go for that.
I will be.
You will be. All right, I trust you. I have so much faith in you.
I'm going to pull that picture up again.
No, let's not do that. All right. That's really all I got on the NFL today. Let's move on to the big chunk of this is the NBA. The Bulls, this is all I have to say, or this is really all I feel towards the Bulls. They just cover my face.
Yeah.
They're the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference.
Why?
So right now they play the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1.
But they beat them 4 times this year. So basically that means
the TNT Bulls beat them 4 times this year.
Yeah, that's a bet to play. Is anytime the Bulls are on TNT, put some serious money on the Bulls.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, they've won 20 games in a row on TNT for people who don't know what we're talking about. But
I mean the Bulls. I won money on the Bulls being bad this year.
You did?
I bet a guy at work $20 that Butler wouldn't average 27.75 and shoot 50% from the field. And I bet him $20 they would not be a top 4 seed in the East. That's some money right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at their record. They're 37 and
it's not a good record.
And 39.
They're under 500.
Yeah, they're a bad team.
Mind you, in NBA 2K17, I took over the Bulls before this season started. Traded Rose again. I traded Butler. I traded Mirotic. I traded McDermott. I traded Gibson. God, who else did I trade? I traded Tony Snell. I won a championship in 3 years. 3 years. Let's go. Like, come on. Let's go. I think I just proved it right there. Like, I traded Butler for basically Ben Simmons. Obviously, you do that. I mean, I won't get into the full breakdown, but I made them a championship team. Yeah, they play Cleveland in the first round, which means they would get bounced in probably at most 5 games. Like, it's not even close.
No.
So then you get bounced in round 1. You're also missing the draft lottery, which is not what you want to do, especially this year where there's such a high number of talented players that are going to be going in the lottery this year. It's just...
Yeah, I think the most important thing, because even if you miss the playoffs and you're the 14th team and picking in the lottery, and you have the lowest chance of getting the first pick anyway, but it sends more of a message if you miss the playoffs that, hey, we have this really good player on our team, Jimmy Butler, that we can't even make the playoffs with. In a league where over half the teams make the playoffs. I would hope, I don't think it would, but I would hope it would shake up the front office, get rid of Garpax and fire Fred Hoiberg and trade Jimmy Butler.
That's one of the tweets that got me yesterday was some Chicago sports account tweeting that Jerry Reinsdorf has said Garpax will not be returning next season. And I was like, yes. I was about to retweet it, and then I looked down and it said, psych, it's April Fool's Day. I was like,
yeah, you got to pay attention on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff going around yesterday. Speaking of the management, ESPN has Fred Hoiberg ranked as the worst coach in the NBA and has the management for the Bulls ranked in the bottom 10 in the NBA.
Yeah, they did. What do? They did coach rankings, they did front office rankings, and they did a combined ranking.
Yes.
And I think the Bulls were in the bottom 10 or bottom 5 for almost all those categories. Fred Hoiberg is the worst coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's really not even a question. The Bulls have taken such a 180 with the coaching front from Tom Thibodeau to Fred Hoiberg. It's not even funny. He was supposed to be key in developing Doug McDermott and Nikola Mirotic and Denzel Valentine and all these players, and nope. Doug McDermott's on another team, 5 wasted picks. Nikola Mirotic is going to be a restricted free agent, and Denzel Valentine has a hard time struggling to get out of the D-League.
How about the inconsistency, too, from the rotation, where Mirotic can go one game being a did not play coach's decision, and then the next game leads you in points and rebounds. Like, yeah. What is that?
I mean, well, just at a player perspective, I've always believed that Nico can play in this league. I just don't think that Fred Hoiberg's used him well. I don't think he's done well for himself with this whole pump fake game. When he gets the ball and he shoots, he can be a good player, but he hasn't developed, and that's a lot. That has to do a lot with Fred Hoiberg, I think.
Yeah, I hate Fred Hoiberg. I hated the hire since the day they made it. He should have stayed in college where he belonged.
Yeah, the day they made that deal to hire Fred Hoiberg, we said that Tibbs would win a title before the Bulls ever won a title.
Yeah, it's looking a lot more likely because he's got superstars on that team.
And he's a fantastic coach, and he just has to teach him defense. And The Bulls have no direction.
Yeah.
They're the worst run team in Chicago.
Which was a theme, basically, for the Jerry Reinsdorf-owned teams.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. The White Sox did not have the direction. Now they've chosen one. The Bulls need to do the same and take the exact same route as the White Sox.
Yeah, you gotta. We've talked about it plenty. We've beaten it to death by now.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the article. You go ahead and talk about the article that Jimmy Butler wants out of Chicago.
Yeah. So NBC Sports reporting just a rumor that Jimmy Butler wants to be done with Chicago, and it would be a little bit of a surprise to see him back with the Bulls next season after the summer comes by. And basically what that means is because Butler, I think, has 3 years or 2 years left on his deal, that the Bulls would end up trading him probably around draft time once the lottery.
Once the lottery happens, they should trade him because then they'll know what picks are what.
Yeah, because you can get a top 3 pick in this draft if you trade Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler, really good player, not a superstar. Great. You know, we'll talk about a couple superstars coming up that you would much rather take over Jimmy Butler. And if you can get picks for him, get young players for him, and you're going to suck for a little bit, but you know when you get lucky and hit on that lottery pick, you're going to be in a much better shape going forward. Especially
you can fully revamp a team in 2 years in the NBA. 2 years, it does not take long.
You need the first overall pick or a top 3 pick for sure, but I mean a team can turn it around really quickly.
Absolutely, especially with the money, the revenue going into the NBA. Like you're going to get a free agent. Like if you get young superstars, some free agent is going to want to play with them.
Yeah.
You're going to get a free agent.
And I mean, I was listening to ESPN 1000 2 days ago, and they were talking about how the Bulls, the simple fix for the Bulls, and according to some fans, is to sign Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. The Bulls haven't brought in any big name free agents. The only big names they brought in over the past 10 years were Carlos Boozer, and he was the backup option to everybody else. And they brought in Dwayne Wade because Dwayne Wade wanted to stick it to Miami and get paid one more time. Those are the big names that Chicago attracts. And why would any free agent want to come to Chicago? They don't have the coach. They have a terrible front office that has a very potent history of fighting with players. Look at what they did with D. Rose. Look what they did with Rajon Rondo. Mm-hmm. Look at how they're at odds with Dwayne Wade because of Dwayne Wade calling out players, and Jimmy Butler is on the trade block constantly. No sensible player wants to look at Chicago and be like, yeah, I can win a title here. Because all the money is going to be the same. Yeah. Every team can pay the same amount of money, except for the team that previously had them. They can give them the extra year, I believe.
Yes, they can give a fifth year.
No one's going to want to come to Chicago. Blake Griffin's not coming to Chicago. Chris Paul's not coming to Chicago. There's not going to be a Paul, Griffin, Butler, big three. It's just not happening.
No, Chris Paul should go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
He should go back.
Yeah, with that team.
Just because I want to see that. I'd rather see him there than on the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see Blake Griffin go play with Russell Westbrook. Personally.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I think he's from there. Well, he went to Oklahoma, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, God, that'd be sick.
Can you
imagine that?
Bottom line is nothing's happening to the Bulls.
Yeah, Bulls are a joke.
They are.
It's just annoying at this point. What I want to talk about is the Boston Celtics standing at the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I believe I said maybe the second episode I ever did of this. They had signed Al Horford, and I said it's very possible that the Boston Celtics can be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and give the Cavs an obvious run for their money. It just depends how A, Al Horford is going to fit in with this team, and B, how Isaiah Thomas is going to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, Isaiah Thomas has developed into quite the superstar player.
Yeah, he's one of the best guards in the league.
Yeah, he led them in scoring for 35 straight games, which has only been done by one other player ever. His name was Michael Jordan. So you're putting Isaiah Thomas in that company. The guy straight up scores. He's a great teammate. I love Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
The fact he's got the chip on his shoulder because he's always been smaller, and he was second round 30th overall pick in the draft. Guy's a stud. Period. End of story. Now, I still think Cleveland wins the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
If you had to ask me who I'm taking in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think it'll still be Boston versus Cleveland. With Cleveland, listen, LeBron's different in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There is a playoff LeBron. I think they could take it in 6 or 7 games because he's still the undisputed best player on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But I will watch every single game of that series.
Yeah, that's watchable basketball now. I mean, basketball still is kind of as far as watching goes. But the Boston Celtics are a nice story. I think if they had traded for Jimmy Butler, you might see a scenario where they can beat Cleveland.
I would pick them to beat Cleveland if they had Jimmy Butler or Paul George.
Yeah.
Either one.
And that's ultimately where I think that Jimmy Butler ends up, whether it's this summer or
it
later.
Just seems so obvious.
It's the perfect fit, I think, because he can be a number 2 to Isaiah Thomas, and that team is well coached, and
Brad Stevens is phenomenal.
Yeah, Brad Stevens is a great coach, but they're the only team that can even mildly threaten Cleveland, I think, and I still think Cleveland wins the East, but it'll be interesting to watch going forward.
Let's talk about our former point guard, Derrick Rose. Again today, it's come out that he tore his left meniscus, 4th knee injury since 2012-2013 season, I believe. Just sad at this point. I mean, this guy's a great athlete. He's was a great basketball player, and his knees have just flat out failed him. When you tear your meniscus, you could either repair the meniscus or you could have it taken out.
That's what Dwayne Wade did. Dwayne Wade had it taken out, and actually, he still was a superstar.
Because if you get it repaired, it's like more likely that you're going to tear it again. And I don't know what the percent is, but I don't care what the percent is. If you're playing at basketball at a high level and cutting like that, you're going to tear it again.
Yeah.
In my own opinion, in my non-PhD opinion.
Yeah.
But, like you said, Dwayne Wade had it taken out, which is going to cause you problems, I believe, later, like arthritis or something.
Well, it not just that, it shortens your career, too, but you'll still have the number of years where you can be a dynamic player. I mean,
It's just like your bone is like pushed up against each other.
Basically.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade, not only Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook had his taken out too.
Yeah, it just sucks for D Rose. I mean, his career is going to be one of those what could have been. I think if we talk about if D Rose never gets hurt, what could have happened? I mean, Tibbs is probably still the coach here. Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose are probably the best backcourt in the NBA. They probably have a ring now. It sucks. It really does suck for not just D Rose, but for Knicks fans and for Bulls fans.
Well, the worst thing for Derrick Rose is like 7 games left in the season? He's going to be a free agent?
Yeah.
That's the worst part. I mean, he'll still probably get picked up, but...
Well, he thought he was going to get paid max money.
Yeah, he would have. He would have still gotten paid. He was averaging 18 points a game.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him max money based on his
I wouldn't
needs.
either.
But
someone was going to give him a lot of money.
Yeah, someone was going to give him... He'll still get paid. He's just not going to get max money, I don't think. But, yeah, it's just, you wonder what could have been. He won an MVP the year before he got hurt, and he was the youngest MVP in NBA history. He probably could have collected, another 1 or 2, given LeBron a run for his money every year with the MVP voting.
Yes.
But it just sucks, because you look at, when we talk about what we're going to talk about next, you see what Russell Westbrook is. That's what Derrick Rose was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unfortunate. That's all I could say about it.
Absolutely. Derrick, we're sorry. Actually, I'm a little sorry, but you're still rich.
Yeah, he got $300 million when he was with the Bulls because he had his $95 million contract and then he had $200 million from Adidas. So I think he's okay swimming in his hundreds, but it's okay.
All right, Corey.
Hello.
Now let's talk about the MVP race in the NBA.
All right.
And how I don't think it should be a race. It's Russell Westbrook all day long. No?
I don't think you should say it's a runaway thing. I think
totally
James Harden's a damn good player. I still think Russell Westbrook wins the MVP, but I think it's a lot closer than you're making out to be.
Well, you average a triple-double.
Yeah, he averages a triple-double, but
he also plays. You think the Rockets are a better team altogether, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. So he plays so he's way more valuable to that team.
Well, like I said, at the start of the year, I predicted Russell Westbrook to win the MVP. I think Russell Westbrook, like I just said, a minute ago, is what Derrick Rose should have been. And he's the best individual player, I think, right now playing in the league.
He's the best guard in the league.
For sure.
I think he's the MVP of the league. You have a triple-double. You have 40 triple-doubles in a season. Name the last time that was done. Probably Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
Like we said way back in the day. So, yeah, I've had a lot of discussions with people I know about how they think James Harden is just head and shoulders the better player.
No, he's not. I think Westbrook's better. I just think that it's a lot closer than you say, or it's closer than other people say who think Harden's the runaway MVP.
I hope they don't do co-MVP.
The thing is, I could see it. The thing is, I could see them doing that.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. It really is. But
if you can't make a decision, let me vote.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, for all that. Yeah, I think Russell Westbrook should win, will win, and I think he just continues to dominate. Hopefully, at this point, it would be Harden and Westbrook matching up in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs.
That would be great.
Because Houston's the 3 and Oklahoma City is the 6. So
we talked about this before the show too. Westbrook, Harden, and Durant all used to be on the same team. That's fucking wild.
That's an 80-2 roster.
Yeah, right now that team doesn't lose many games. That would be the best big three that the NBA has ever seen. I think.
Yeah, that's pure dominant. That's the best point guard, best shooting guard, second best small forward in the league on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And they could totally afford it now, too, because of the way the cap is. They could all make money.
That OKC team never won a title.
Yeah, no.
That's so sad. But
yeah, I mean, they were still really young and all that. But I think, Westbrook
MVP.
100%,
Absolutely.
100%. Let's move on to college basketball. We have the final on Monday, which is tomorrow. We have Gonzaga versus University of North Carolina for the second consecutive year in the championship game. They lost last year on that buzzer beater from Villanova. They are back again. I am taking Gonzaga to win this game.
Yeah, I'm taking Gonzaga too. For me, it depends on the game. Really depends on how well Gonzaga's wings and their backcourt do against UNC's backcourt, because both are. Gonzaga usually doesn't get the reputation as a very athletic team, but I would say that they're a pretty athletic team. I think they just get that reputation because of the smaller conference that they play in.
They've got so much size in this
They've got, yeah, but I think the bigs for both teams sort of cancel each other out a little bit. They neutralize, so it really depends on how well UNC can defend the wings for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And I think UNC's pretty athletic. They have to play Duke every year twice, so you have to guard the wings pretty well, but I think Gonzaga comes out, and it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'm picking Gonzaga because that's who, the bracket I read on the show was actually Mike's.
Oh, okay.
So in my own personal bracket, I have Gonzaga, which is currently in 16th place out of like 180, 150, 180 people. I don't know how many people. A lot of people. So if Gonzaga wins, I should win some money, which we should hope for. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know if I'll watch it because I'll be at work, which is a little upsetting. But I'll try to watch it. And I think Gonzaga comes out on top. The thing that really, I want to talk about something that made me a little angry after
Here we go.
Luke May hit that game-winning shot the next day. I see a post on Bleacher Report on Facebook. The caption on Facebook's like, hits buzzer beater and comes to his 8 a.m. class with crying face, hard eyes, and a clap emoji. Why the hell are people so infatuated with the fact that he came to an 8 a.m. class? First of all, he's a sophomore, I believe. Correct? Sophomore?
Yes, sophomore.
Second of all, he's not really like a star. Doesn't have like an NBA future to this point. So of course he's going to come to class. Third, he's a student athlete. Corey, what was the first word I said there?
Student.
Student class. I mean, UNC has the reputation with the football team, obviously, of just letting players take independent studies that are one essay a semester, take an independent study on African studies, and then they email their essays to an advisor who does it up for them, and they turn it in and get an A in the class. They were doing that for like 15 years, but student athlete. I was mind blown. I was like, what are they doing? Who gives a shit? Yes, he's supposed to show up to class. Oh, but he's sitting in the front row. Even in Division III schools, athletes have to sit in the front row of their classes. Come on, give me a freaking break. That is ridiculous. Corey, thoughts?
It didn't trigger me nearly as much as it triggered you.
I was so mad.
I mean, you're supposed to go to school. That's it. You shouldn't be applauded for it. But I mean, you're at a basketball school. I can see why they do it. I just wasn't as triggered as you, but I agree with you.
I hate it so much. It made me so angry. I wanted to go to the school and just be like, yo, teach. What are you teaching these kids? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I wasn't it a student who caught the...
Well, yeah, the student was taking the video.
I don't think the teacher gives a shit.
The teacher was a part of this, 100%.
I don't think the teacher gives a shit.
Man, okay, whatever. It just made me so angry.
It's really not that big of a deal.
Stressed me out a little bit,
Oh my goodness.
Stressed me out, the old ticker,
Yeah, your old ticker.
Not good for me. All right, let's talk about baseball now. Today is opening day. Today, the Chicago Cubs, your 2016 World Series champions, take the diamond once again in St. Louis. We've got Johnny Lester taking the hill against Carlos Martinez. Meh. Johnny
Only
Lester.
one of those guys can throw to first base, though.
19-game winner a year ago. Cy Young finalist.
Only one of those guys can throw to first base, though.
Shut up. You don't know what he's been working on in the spring.
He still can't throw to first. He's got the yips.
PFP, all right? He hit it hard. Pitchers, fielding, practice. We got it down. He'll be all right. He'll win another 19 games this year. Really, really excited to open the season as the defending champions. You know, first time, obviously, in my lifetime this has happened. So the excitement is
Anybody's
real.
lifetime.
Shut
a lot
up.
of people's lifetimes.
Shut up, Corey. The excitement is real. I'm ready to get back out there for the 162-game grind plus the postseason. It's going to be a fun season. It starts with our rival, the St. Louis Cardinals. Unfortunately, for some reason, the defending champions don't open up at home. They actually don't get their rings until April 12th, which is next Wednesday. They will be wearing these exact jerseys on that day, also on April 10th, which is the home opener next Monday. So they're not even getting them on the home opener. I don't know if it's like anything that has to do with weather, but I looked and like Monday it's supposed to be 66 with a little bit of clouds but no rain, so I don't know what the...
Yeah, I'm not sure what the
is.
protocol is for that. I remember when the White Sox won it, they opened it home against Cleveland, and yeah, I think they got their rings then too.
Which would make more sense even because they'd be opening against the Cardinals, where Dexter Fowler could also get a ring.
Yeah, Dexter Fowler would be getting his ring. Yeah, I'm not sure why the NBA, the MLB schedules it like that, but
Don't know. I really do care though. I wish they were at home. The Cubs are I think they have the most games on ESPN though this year.
they should.
That's cool.
A lot of young talent,
Yeah.
and they're an elite team.
They're
should.
kicking it off on Sunday Night Baseball tonight. Funny story about the Cardinals, actually, not really a story, just a funny little note. They just paid Yadier Molina $60 million for a 3-year extension, which is absolutely bonkers, Corey.
He's 35 years old. He's a catcher.
35-year-old
Bad
catcher,
knees.
deteriorating knees every single day. It doesn't make any sense to pay him $20 million a season. I get what he means as a franchise and what he's done there and what he did in the World Baseball Classic, but no, not worth the money.
They're loading up for a Jose Quintana trade. That's what they're trying to do. Because now they can trade Carson Kelly, their top catching prospect. But
Of course. That's what
yeah,
they can do.
just kidding. I don't want Q to end up in St. Louis.
All right, Corey, what do you got to say about the White Sox opening day?
It's going to get rained out.
Fun story.
There's like an 80% chance of rain tomorrow around the time that the game is supposed to be starting. I will not be watching the game. I will be in the hospital for 13 hours, but
Nurse life.
nurse life indeed. But I mean, every game is a game worth paying attention to for the White Sox because we want to see who's got the trade value, who on other teams is getting hurt, so the White Sox can maybe patch up another team and acquire some prospects. It's a rebuilding year. They're not expected to be good. I predicted a 69 and 93 record for the White Sox. I've seen people predict them to have 95 losses. I've seen them projected for somewhere around 75 wins. And I don't understand the people who do that, considering we lost 2 of our best players.
Yeah,
But
a top 3 pitcher, a top 5 pitcher in the league.
Yep, and a Gold Glove caliber outfielder who hits very well. But you know, I think it's going to be a long year for both sides of town. I mean, baseball is a grind, but for the White Sox, all we're looking forward to is the trade deadline. That's the next big deal, and we're going to see
Well, you got
what
the
happens.
draft.
Well, yeah, that too. When is the draft? It's draft
It's in June,
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking towards the draft, and as far as the Major League Club goes, we're looking for the trade deadline, and we're going to see what Jose Quintana brings at the deadline, and we're praying for somebody's health, it's Jose Quintana, because he could bring back just a mother load at the trade deadline. You see when the
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You read that?
I did. We might talk about that in a second because that's making me really happy. But you saw what Aroldis Chapman got at the trade deadline. He got Gleyber Torres back, who is now the number 3 prospect in all of baseball. So you think if a team is a starting pitcher away from a title, you go for Jose Quintana. Who knows what he can bring back?
Yeah.
And maybe it's somebody like the Yankees who are in it at the deadline. They need a starting pitcher, and maybe Rick Hart could be like, hey, that Torres kid that you guys just got.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. We could take him, but
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. And the thing that just distracted me was that the White Sox are scheduled to work out Luis Robert, who is the top international Cuban free agent who can do everything as a center fielder, and he's a stud, basically. That just came across my Facebook feed that they're scheduled to have a private workout for him, so that makes me very excited as well.
Yeah, one more thing I want to say about the Cubs here. Jason Hayward, you're officially on the clock. I think he is starting opening day in center field, but you at this point...
His swing is still bad.
Listen,
I don't
let's
care.
give it some time.
I don't care. You gave him a year.
Let's give him some more time.
His swing is still bad, and you say he's on the clock, but his opt-out is after 3 years. He's not going to opt out of that deal.
I'm saying on the clock as a starter. That's what I'm saying right now. He's on the clock.
You're going to put that $25 million salary on the bench?
I don't care about money. I care about winning. And if, Ben Zobrist and Javi Baez and John Jay in the lineup give us a better option, we're going to do it. So basically, all they have to do is play John Jay in center, Zobrist in right, Javi in second, and Hayward would hit the bench. So
that's a really poor defending outfield, though.
Yeah, sure is. It's all right.
Because you'll have Schwarber left.
We'll score some runs. It's all good. But actually, John Jay, thing I like about him, what I was telling you beforehand, is he's got the reverse split. He hits lefties really well. So
yeah, and I think John Jay actually has like a 991 career field percentage. He's a really good fielder.
I saw him on left field in Friday's game against Houston. He laid all out and made a sick.
Yeah, no. I think John Jay's a solid player. I do, and he doesn't need to hit in that lineup at all. But yeah, I think Jason Hayward so far has been proof that even Theo Epstein isn't perfect.
Yeah, I mean, anybody would have signed him to a deal that needed a coin.
I mean, the Nationals were offering him $200 million, and I don't know what the Cardinals were offering him, but
hey, thank God for that, because then the Nationals don't trade for Adam Eaton if they have Jason Hayward.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
welcome.
Okay, yeah, I'll be quiet on that.
All right, then we haven't been back, I guess, since the World Baseball Classic ended either, so we got to talk about that. I mean, we got it. I just remembered this, on the spot. We got to talk about this.
You're going to talk about the Stroh Show.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, in the final against who was it? Puerto Rico. Marcus the Stroh Show, Stroman, was absolutely filthy. He was disgusting. He was dominant. He was an ace. He was the dude on the mound making it happen, Corey.
Everybody all up in my face.
Because you were telling me that he wasn't going to get the job done, that he wasn't going to win the game, that he was going to get lit up by Puerto Rico like he did 5 days prior. Guess what?
His breath smells.
Well, it's my fake tooth. I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
There's nothing I can do about it. All right? Thanks for making me, really hate myself right now. I have a denture? Really? You brought that up?
I didn't say... You're the one talking about the denture. I just said your breath, man, my dude.
Listen. Let's get back into the real topic here. In the lights... Wait, never mind. I forgot what I was going to say. Put the bright lights on and he will shine on them. All right, Corey? He no-hit Puerto Rico through 6. No-hit him. Dominant. Filthy. Please give him some props for this.
He pitched well.
He pitched phenomenally.
And
he won the MVP because he was the best player in the entire tournament. USA took home the title as both of us predicted, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really great tournament. Cannot wait for the next one in 2021.
No, it was really exciting. Teams worry about injuries and things like that, but
yeah,
it was great. It was really exciting baseball. That's all there really is to it. It beats spring training.
Oh, absolutely. I hate spring training.
It beats the hell out of spring training.
Especially as we drag spring training through this week, and I'm like, oh my God, I just want real games. That's it. That's all I want.
But now we have meaningful baseball until the end of October.
Yes, because Friday, also in that game against the Astros, the Cubs are obviously pulling players out after 3-4 innings, and Rizzo's getting pulled, and they're playing some dude at first base who doesn't even have a name on his jersey. Some really fat dude. I was like, I have no idea who this guy is. Zero clue. And then no one does because he doesn't have a freaking name on the back of his jersey.
Poor kid.
So, USA, dominant. Marcus Stroman, MVP. Put the bright lights on, he'll shine on him. Only player in the league that walks out and warms up to his own music. So, something to see there. You know what I mean? I might fly to Toronto just to see it, just to hear it.
So you're saying he's a douchebag?
I'm saying he's a god, is what I'm saying. He's an ace. He's bona fide. The Cubs should trade for him. They actually almost did trade for him back in the day. Did you know that?
I did not.
When they were trading Samardzija, Stroman was just still a prospect. And instead of him... So the deal on the table was Stroman for Samardzija and other pieces in there and whatnot. But then the A's knew that they were going to lose, and they threw in Addison Russell. So obviously Addison Russell at the time still the better prospect, so the Cubs take that deal. He was almost a Cub, Corey. We were this close.
I don't think you regret having Addison Russell.
I do not, at all, no. All right, I think that about covers it for today. Corey, you got anything to add? Any last thoughts here?
Nah, I'm good, guys.
You ready for this week of school?
No, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired
very
too.
tired.
Mostly because I have sleep apnea, but...
So you're telling the audience about your dentures and your sleep apnea and your heart problem?
I didn't say anything about a heart problem.
You talked about your ticker
I just said
earlier.
the ticker. It's not good for the ticker. Now you're telling everyone I got a heart problem. I'm just falling apart. All right, we're going to end it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We did have 2 videos just hit 1,000+ views. Neat. Okay, you almost knocked my hat off.
If I didn't touch it, why did you need to readjust
Well,
it?
you did touch it, is what I'm saying. You almost knocked it off with that powerful high five. All right.
I can't do anything right.
Also, per the request of Stugatz Entertainment, I'm going to try and re-release black V-neck t-shirts, black tank tops, and black hoodies because he was upset that he didn't get one. So we're going to re-release those per Stugatz Entertainment request. So be on the lookout for that. If I have it out by the end of this video, I'll link it in the description. That's all we got for you guys today. Make sure you guys are checking out the Crossover Report at Crossover Report on Twitter, Facebook, and crossoverreport.com. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
In them lights, I hit the switch. 50,000 when I'm dealing in the 6. And you know they locked in on every pitch. Life crazy got the boy tagging me in pics. They think they getting me, but they ain't never stressing me. Cooking in the lab, and you know I got the recipe. Mama always texting me, but I don't always get to see. But trust me, she already know I got the message. I get the message. Love my family and my circle. Shout my Steve's word to Urkel. You know I'm working with the purpose for certain. Tell my doubters turn it louder. Perfect. Riding with my team, don't be sliding in my DMs, cause you know I ain't gon' read them anyway. You know I got the tunnel vision, I don't see the competition. If I want it, then I get it anyway. Put them bright lights on.